terrible.
That's horrible.
Terrible. Why is he feeding this animal alcohol?
It's horrible.
That's terrible.
Okay, so imagine you're a kid. Imagine this. Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Open Orbit. My name is Hunter Pratt, and I am your host. We are recording from the KVCU studio at the University of Colorado Boulder. Today, we have a returning guest, Max Carlin from episode 3. If you don't know Max, he is an undergraduate student here at the University of Colorado Boulder. He's doing research at the Center for Astrophysics and Space Astronomy. And yeah, last time we were talking about aliens, but today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. Excited to be here. Yeah. Crush the intro.
Heck yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. So today we are going to be drafting teams of 5 scientists that we think are most likely to make a kid cry. So our goal is to make the most diabolical team that can definitely make any kid cry.
Yeah, I've got a team of some monsters.
Sweet. Okay, we'll see. We have some judges behind the cameras, so they will be scoring us each round, and whoever has the most points at the end is going to win.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We have team names. Did you come up with your team name yet?
No.
On the spot.
All
right, what do you got?
We are the tear jerkers.
The tear jerkers. Heck yeah.
We're the tear jerkers.
That's awesome. The tear jerkers. All right, so I have a bunch of guys here that worked primarily on the solar system. So I went with after a lot of thinking, I went with the solar sob stem.
Ooh. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, he loves it. I can tell.
The solar what?
The solar sob stem. We're sobbing, man. We're crying.
What's the stem at the end of it?
The system. Solar system.
Oh,
play on words.
I get it. I get it now.
You know, I'm being clever. That's terrible. Come on, I thought I had a great name. I had a great name, and you just go, ooh.
I couldn't get it. I was trying to be supportive.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so our judges behind the cameras will be judging us just on their favorite picks. It's not going to be the one that's necessarily the most to make a kid cry. Maybe it's the funniest. Maybe it's the one that has the best story. But we will be keeping that in mind. So I'll try not to take it too seriously if you get any points.
Okay. Any points.
We'll try not to, though.
Okay.
All right. So who do you want to go first?
I think you should start us off.
Okay, so my first pick is probably one of the most infamous physicists, if not the most infamous physicist, Sir Isaac Newton.
Classic.
Yes, and he was living around 350 years ago. He is famous for establishing 3 laws of motion, for demonstrating the law of gravity. He turned that into a law, a scientific law, or as we say today, like a scientific theory. Or no, we say it as a law now. Yeah, it's a law. Yeah. And so, he took it from something that was understood and then actually proved it to be a law. And he invented calculus, and that helps us define a lot of motion and change and stuff. He also came up with a theory of light and color, which is pretty cool. And he invented one of the 2 main types of telescopes. He invented, he invented the refracting telescope.
Okay.
We call it like a Newtonian telescope.
That's where it comes from.
And so, you use lenses for those types of telescopes, whereas for reflecting telescopes, the other types of telescopes, they use mirrors.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he invented that. So he's done a lot of great things. He wrote the Principia, one of scientists' greatest achievements. But there's a lot of bad things about him too. And the first of all, like every instance that I've heard of him from professors that have studied him or from anybody, they say that he was just not a fun person to be around. He was just like outright unpleasant and rude. He didn't have many friends. He was really competitive, really like quick to judge people, like his colleagues and stuff. And particularly one of these people was Robert Hooke. which they were like rivals. They fought a lot. They were working on similar things, and they always were like fighting for who did it first, who came up with this thing first. And so beyond just like his natural rudeness, he like actually went out of his way to like make people's lives harder sometimes, and especially with Hooke. The like most famous thing is that they were having this dispute, Hooke and Newton, and after Hooke died, Newton was in a place of authority for the Royal Astronomical Society. He was the president of the Royal Astronomical Society. There's one portrait of Hooke known in existence, and he orders that it be destroyed. So he was trying to like erase Hooke from all of history, essentially.
Yeah. You know that famous quote, if I've seen further, it's because I stood on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah.
So he's talking about, so we think, it's a common interpretation is that he's talking about the people that came before him. Mm-hmm. But another interpretation is that he's making fun of Hooke's height. He was making fun of Hooke being short.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Yeah. So he's just like a really rude person, and Hooke like and him, like their whole dispute was over gravity and the theory of light. Hooke and Newton were working on gravity at the same time. Hooke claimed that he came up with it and Newton was stealing it. But it turns out that, like, according to some other cases from other scientists, that Newton probably was the main guy to like turn it into a law. Right. But Hooke was telling Newton that his theory of light was complete garbage when Newton was writing about it, and that actually like kept Newton from not publishing that book for many years. So he was deeply affected by this. Yeah. But all that is to say, if you're a kid that annoys Newton, he's gonna make you cry, most likely.
He's gonna start burning portraits of you, man. He's taking you down.
All right, so who do you got for your first?
Okay, so we vaguely know each other's lists, right? And we know that there's only one overlap.
I don't really remember your list, to be honest.
So we only share one scientist. We only share one overlap on our list. And so I knew you were going to do yours first. So I figured my pick first, right off the bat, too, would be Newton.
Heck yeah.
And we'll leave it up to the judges to see which Newton stories are like more. But I want to tell a couple Newton stories here from the book Newton's Tyranny by David Clark. It's an insane book. I highly recommend. It's like sort of like a story, right, surrounding Newton. And you talked a lot about Hooke, but where I think Newton was the biggest
rude
jerk, rude guy, was with the royal astronomer John Flamsteed, right? So he's appointed by the king to be the royal astronomer, and his goal at this time. I mean, back then you were like a pure astronomer, right? You're cataloging the sky. You're just looking for. Nowadays an astronomer is indistinguishable from an astrophysicist, but back then he just wanted to have the sharpest, most consistent, most detailed catalog of every celestial object you may be able to observe from Earth. And so, of course, Newton, obsessed with his sort of prestige, how he appears when he's publishing the Principia. He wants Flamsteed's observations of the moon, right? Because he can use it to sort of take those observations. He can say, look, this aligns well with my theory of gravity. But Flamsteed was hesitant, right? Because this would be the premier astronomical catalog. There's nothing like it. And he wanted to publish it on his own terms, right? He wanted to make sure it was a full, coherent catalog. And so I think he agreed to give Newton something like just a few of his moon observations, or what he said were all of his moon observations, but Newton didn't believe him. Mm-hmm. And Newton was always a politically very powerful guy, and so he used his role as the president of the Royal Society to sort of lie and manipulate Flamsteed into getting this catalog that he was working on. This catalog that was not finished. And to put it worse, in the second edition of the Principia, Flamsteed data was integral to these calculations, right? In the second edition of the Principia, not a single mention of Flamsteed. He didn't credit him at all. No, yeah. So that would make a kid cry, right? And Flamsteed did get him back though. Flamsteed managed to destroy 300 of the 400 copies that were published. But a completed version of his catalog was not released until after his death. So, yeah, the guy that released these, he was like a banker turned astronomer history. Francis Bailey, former banker turned astronomer, like history of science, and he got his hands on those letters. But he also got his hands on Newton's papers at Hurstbourne Park, and he reported that, and I quote, he had found nothing to contradict the picture of Newton as a vindictive, occasionally vicious man. So if you're a kid, here's Newton, right? If you're a kid, it's like you have like these stickers, right? Like literally, or like candy, and you're like, I'm building this insane sticker collection, Pokemon card collection, whatever you want. Clearly, the object doesn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. And Newton comes along and he says, "Look, I'm gonna need those." Like, and he says, "Look, I'm gonna take those now for my collection, right? Yeah. It's gonna be pretty good for these." And then he takes it. He shows everyone his collection, and he says, "Look at what I did." And that's Newton. I'd be awesome. In tears if I was that kid. I'd be in tears.
Good, very good argument.
So that's my first pick.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, judges. Who do you think wins, the tearjerkers or the what?
The solar sobster. Come on.
Sorry. The solar sobsters. Yeah. All right.
Let's go. Okay. Let's go. All right.
We got one down for Max.
I was nervous. I thought for sure they would be going for you. They know
you had a very good argument.
That could also work against your favor though, because like if it was my coworker that I had to vote for, I'm rooting for the guy. Every
true.
time.
Yeah. They got to be nice to you.
They got to be. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to go first on the next one?
Should we switch it up?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Round 4. Here we go.
Round 4?
No, sorry. Round 2. This is my fourth to last.
Okay, got it.
And this one,
so you're starting from 5.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting exceedingly more passionate with these.
Good. I will be as well.
This one is one that I we'll see. All right. So for my fourth pick in the astronomers or scientists that will make a kid cry, I'm picking the untouchable, the infamous Aristotle. All right. So Aristotle, we all know Aristotle, biggest name in one of the biggest names in the history of the West, right? He's credited with this foundation of Western philosophy, but his astronomy and his methods for explaining the universe were incredibly popular because he was an incredibly popular guy. He had a lot of influence. So he created his physics, his astronomy, and it was this view that the Earth is the center of all rotation, which back then, it's not bad at that time. I mean, right? There's very little evidence to contradict that at the time he's living, right? That's a fair conclusion to make. But then he has this sort of element theory where you have Earth, air, fire, water, and the heavens. And the idea is everything falls in its right place. So Earth falls towards the center, right? And that's why Earth's at the center, like dirt, mud that falls towards the center. Fire's right place is in the air. So that's why you see air always rising, and then air is always above fire. Water is always above earth, right? And then you have his final is this celestial sphere. So that's all the stars that are infinitely far away. And this Aristotelian philosophy placed the heavens, like the stars, the cosmos, as perfect, right? Mm-hmm. It's perfect, unchanging, and importantly, moving in circles. All right, now that's important. All right, because circles plagued science for the next millennium. For the next millennium, everyone loves circles. It's their favorite shape. It's like this guy just said he was like those things move in circles, like perfect circles, and everyone was down. Like that's awesome. Like that sounds like exactly how this works. And so like here's a great example. Galileo, right? He got so close to the concept of inertia. He got so close to the concept of inertia. And here's a good example. Here's a good quote from him. So he's like, something, if it moves in a straight line, it'll keep moving in a straight line. And then he goes, and what I mean by a straight line is a circle. It's like, listen to this. This is the type of thing he said. Motion in a horizontal line, which is tilted neither up nor down, is circular motion about the center. Once acquired, it will continue perpetually with uniform velocity. That's like so close. We would have gotten we could have gotten Newton's laws 100 years earlier.
Yeah.
But we're stuck on these circles. We're stuck on these circles. It's like a rumor that just gets passed down. Even Copernicus, the first heliocentric solar system. So Copernicus gave us the first there was some heliocentric solar systems in ancient times, but he gave us, he's famous for really creating that heliocentric picture, whether or not that's true. But again, the orbits are circular. They're perfect circles. We couldn't get past this. Aristotle, if he was at your school or something, he came to the school, he said, the school mascot, I'm the school mascot, and everyone believed him. That was, I could work a little harder on that. He said, what did he say? He started a rumor that everyone believed, man. It's terrible. No one likes rumors. Like, you're the worst. We all just take it at face value. So that makes a kid cry. Even though I do love Aristotle, because he was brilliant. But,
very, very well. Yeah. That's good. Good pick. I'm gonna see if I can beat you this time.
Yeah.
I like the circles. Did you have anything else to say about Aristotle?
No, that's it. Let's hear your pick. Pick number 2.
Mine is very naturally like the pick preceding my first pick.
Okay.
It's Robert Hooke.
They both sucked.
Yes,
both were the worst.
They're arguing, they're bickering with each other. Newton and Hooke are arguing all the time. So they're like a very unhappily married couple, you know? Yeah. Like any kid is going to be traumatized by being around that.
Right.
So, and on top of that, Hooke is also mean. Like, he wasn't completely innocent either. Like, he was victim to Newton's bullying, but he also bullied Newton a little bit, as I mentioned before, with the whole theory of light and color thing. But Hooke's contributions to science, he actually contributed to a lot of different sciences. He contributed to biology, physics, geology, astronomy. He did a lot of different things, but he namely invented many instruments for many different uses. He's inventing stuff. And he contributed to our modern understanding of gravity, like with Newton, as we were mentioning before. They were arguing with who finally did it, who was the guy that reached the end first. And he also observed Mars and Jupiter's surfaces and was like characterizing them. And he also looked at the moon and was looking, like, trying to characterize that as well. And so we learned a little bit about planets from him.
I didn't even know that. That's so cool.
Kind of cool. Yeah. And but he was just very quarrelsome with all of his colleagues, much like Newton. So it's really obvious why they would bicker at each other all the time. And he was always defensive, jealous, quick to blame somebody for stealing his ideas. And they would just make the perfitly unhappily married couple to make a kid cry.
Him and Newton, if they teamed up, they'd be the worst.
Yes. So that's why it's a strategic choice that they're both on my team.
Right. Yeah, they can't be on opposite teams.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I like that. And Hooke, did he work on the microscope too?
I believe he did.
He did.
And I think he was. Correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe we'll have to look this up later, but I think he coined the term cell.
I think, yes. Okay, that's what I was going to say, yeah.
Because he invented some early form of a microscope and was using it, and
Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that's definitely right, because I was wondering the same thing, but I wasn't sure. That's so cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, judges. Who do you guys... You guys can talk to if you want to. Yeah, you can say our names or our team names if you remember them.
Solar Stobstone.
I'm thinking it's kind of between Rumor Yeah. And then, like, so, like, rumor. I think the thing is that you're, like, framing it really well.
You're a better storyteller than me.
Okay, taking it at face value, though.
Yeah.
We've got rumor versus...
Just all around asshole.
Yeah.
Just all around. So I guess, yeah.
I'm leaning towards Hunter. What do you think?
I'm, like, disagreeing with you.
Oh.
Shoot.
You didn't think of this.
Yeah. We need Lily to come in here.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, you guys can, rock, paper, scissors over it.
Judges say?
And the judges,
I got
goodness.
it.
Dude.
2 rounds. We can go.
I need to step up my game.
I'm starting to think it's a setup.
No.
Like,
This is a massive embarrassment for me right now. I need to get better at my storytelling skills.
All right. Well, we'll give you the storytelling chance then with round 3.
All right.
Round 3.
All right. So my third pick is the famous Richard Feynman. Which is like such a wildly controversial choice. So many people love this man so much. Mm-hmm. And he's been praised for his brilliance as a professor, as a researcher, as a communicator, and his charm. Like, he's a really likable guy when he's at work. Yeah. So why would he make a kid cry? Why would I choose that? But he was also famous for his contribution to quantum mechanics. He got a Nobel Prize for being able to, or he came up with a way to describe the behavior of some particles, and it was a very big contribution to physics. But we start getting into some more controversial stuff when we talk about his work on the Manhattan Project. Some critics say that was a good thing because he helped ensure that the U.S. came up with that before Germany.
He was also super young, wasn't he?
I heard so. Yeah,
I think he was like 24 or something. Working on the
Manhattan.
Like, who approved
wild.
that?
Yeah. So and that can be controversial from whatever angle you take it, but other critics will be saying like he contributed to a massively destructive weapon. And so there's controversy there on whatever side you take there. But beyond that, he's known to have been quite sexist in his work. He has published a book, an autobiography, where he's said multiple controversial things, including what some people thought of as bragging about, like treating women bad in bars and stuff to pick them up, or like just treating them bad to make them have sex with him, or to convince them to have sex with him. Like, he said he had to treat them like dirt. Apparently later in his book, he said he's not doing that anymore, but he at least said that. And then there are multiple accounts of him just like kind of putting down women in his work and being rude. And also he's really quick to like snap, or not snap, but he's quick to like push people. And when they're asking him a question, like make them, he'd retaliate with some questions to like kind of push them to make them potentially feel a little bit dumber, or to like challenge them more and to like assert his intellect. And so, in some ways, I think, especially if this child is a girl, they're not going to have fun around Richard Feynman. Yeah. Richard Feynman is a pretty modern person. He passed away about 40 years ago. Yeah. But I think that in many ways he would be an unpleasant person to be around as a kid. And apparently there's accounts of, he wrote about in his book, that some kids would come up to his house asking for autographs, and he'd turn them away without giving them an autograph because he was annoyed by them. And he'd keep saying like how annoying they were. And not just kids, but other people too. But especially if you're a kid and you want an autograph from Richard Feynman, you're going to cry.
Okay. So I think that he was very insecure. I think a lot of those stories it was like the hunches, they were fabricated. Yeah. But I also do think that he's not a good person. I started reading the book, Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman. Yeah. Mr. Feynman. And and like the stories, like some of them like aren't funny. You just like,
Yeah.
man, you're just mean.
Yeah.
Like I think when I stopped reading, because he had this story when he was in undergrad, when he was in college, he would always go like eat at this diner or something, and always had the same server. And so one day he took like her tip and put it underneath a cup full of water. Right. And
goodness.
yeah. And so of course the water like spilled everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. But he framed it as like, oh well, if she knew physics, she would have been able to get her tip. It's like, no, you're just
being rude.
Like just give her her
Yeah.
tip.
That's that intellectual
that's-
superiority that
Yeah.
I feel like he's done that in many ways. Even
Yeah.
when like students are asking him questions, interviewers asking him questions, he pushes them to the point sometimes, not all the time, but he sometimes pushes them to the point where it's just like, it's not funny anymore. Like you're just kind of asserting your intellect over this person.
Yeah, exactly. Or you're just being, and like one famous example. There's this like this folklore story where he was so confident, he was so charming and so confident that he would talk to people whose language he like didn't speak, but he would just sort of speak gibberish and try to like mimic their accent. And then the story goes, well, he was so convincing that they would just assume it was a different dialect of their language. But there's just no way that's the case. Like imagine you flew in from Sweden. You're here to meet this Nobel laureate. You're like, oh my gosh, I get to talk to this amazing physicist. And he starts like speaking gibberish. Like, what are you going to do? You're just going to be like, oh, okay. Like, must not recognize it.
He has a really big fan base, and it's hard to like whenever you talk bad about Richard Feynman, you're instantly igniting a whole bunch of people to come yell at you because they love him. And he's done a lot of amazing things. Like I've watched a lot of his lectures and they're amazing. I've learned a lot about physics from them. Yeah. But yeah, I think the misogyny and sexism can go to another level. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, he also held meetings in strip clubs.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And he worked in strip clubs, held meetings in strip clubs.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. And he would also, I have written down here, he would laugh at kids' misunderstandings and at times was quick to tease or test someone's knowledge. So like I was saying before, like he would even laugh at somebody's misunderstandings. So imagine that you're a kid, you're hanging out with Richard Feynman, you ask him a question, he just starts laughing at you. That would make me cry.
That would make me cry too. Yeah, for sure.
I may have had a physics professor that did that before, and I may or may not have went into the hallway and cried.
Everyone's been there. Everyone's been there.
Yes. So yeah, that's my next argument. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for what you've got. I think you're so far doing really well.
We'll see. My third plays off well from my last one. It is none other for my third pick, Claudius Ptolemy, born in 100 CE. All right. So another ancient times. Super cool guy. Back then, the name planet is derived from the word wanderer, right? Because they would look up at these little pale points of light and they would notice that sometimes they exhibited much stranger motion than all the other stars in the sky, right? And now we know this as retrograde motion, right? So sometimes it looks like a planet will just sort of change course, call that retrograde motion, and that just happens as planets pass each other. It appears like they're changing motions because they orbit around the sun at different speeds. I've heard
it described as like when you're in a car and there's a car in the lane next to you. Yeah, you can see that like the car next to you is still driving forward when you're behind them, but if you start going faster than them and you start to pass them, then that car next to you kind of looks like it's going behind you.
That is so good.
And that's exactly what happens is like Earth is closer in its orbit to the sun from Mars. It's going to speed up around Mars, and so as it passes it looks like Mars is going backwards for a little bit.
That's perfect. That is, I've never been able to explain it.
I didn't come up with that explanation. Some genius did.
I'm going to steal it.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Just as I did.
Okay. Yeah. But he wanted to explain this, right? And he was, of course, stuck in that. He was an Aristotelian. He was stuck around that Aristotle time. And so he had this geocentric model. The Earth is at the center. Nothing wrong with that, right? It's fine to conclude that, given the data that you have at this point in history. But here's where he could really make a kid cry. So he wants these planets. He wants to explain this apparent retrograde motion. And so he comes up with this idea. Circles, right? Of course, they go in circles around the Earth. They have to.
We're still on the circles.
But
We haven't
now,
passed that yet.
to explain that, we need epicycles. So planets, they don't just go around in circles around the Earth. They also spin around smaller circles, epicycles, which are attached to bigger circles.
Yes.
Different. So ridiculous, right? Ridiculous.
Yes.
And so it gets even worse. So you add one epicycle to a planet, right? A sort of as the planet goes around the Earth, it also moves in a circle, right? But it turns out that doesn't work. That doesn't work. What you need is that the Earth is still at the center, but the point at which they rotate around is not actually around the Earth. So it's geocentric, but neither of the circles were centered on the Earth. So each planet's motion was centered at a specific point slightly away from the Earth, called the eccentric. Okay? Are you following?
I'm following.
All right. So here's what we're going to say to the kid. All right? We're going to walk up to the kid. We're going to say, okay, kid, Mars is on a little circle, which is moving on a bigger circle, which is not actually centered on Earth, but kind of on a point that's not the Earth. And the speed is constant there, but not here. Do you think the kid would cry?
I think you objectively won that. I don't know. We'll have to go to our judges.
I think the kid would cry.
That is an amazing argument right there.
Then that's why Ptolemy is on my list.
That was amazing. That was amazing. Okay, judges.
Round 3.
I vote Hunter.
I vote Hunter.
Oh, look at that. Heck yeah.
To be honest, yeah. Circles suck.
Circles are the worst.
Sexists suck more.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Good point.
True.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's the fact that he's like baiting people to like test their knowledge. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
There's this interview that Max showed me, but when we were prepping for this, where he just like, he keeps pushing this guy. This guy's like, I'm asking you this question. He's like, I'm asking you this question. It's like, chill,
Like,
dog.
bro, just answer the question. Just answer the question, please.
You are a professor. Like, you should be able to
Yeah.
like not have a quarrel with somebody about one simple question that they're
Yeah.
asking. I think, some people just get bored. Maybe they're insecure. Whatever.
I don't know.
Whatever.
But the worst is, especially with Richard Feynman, is that these people, the Feynman bros in physics that are just like, they don't shower and they don't shower and
We just lost half of our audience.
Wow. Gotta cut that one out. They're always arguing. It's crazy. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can smell them coming down the halls of the
Smell
physics
them coming
building
down
at
the
CU
halls.
Boulder.
All right. So we're 2-1. 2-1. It's a tight race.
I mean,
tight race.
I don't know if I deserve that one. If it was up to me, I would have given you the vote. I think you're doing great, but I appreciate it, judges. Thank you.
I was teaming you on that one too.
All right. Do you want to go?
Is it mine
first this time?
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is our second
no
to
rules to
last
this.
pick. We're cruising. Second to last pick.
I lost some of my notes then. Oh, I threw away. Okay.
Okay. Sweet.
We're good.
All right. So for our second to last pick, the second person that you would pick to make a kid cry, I'm going with none other than astronomer Mike Brown.
Heck yes.
Now, Mike Brown
choice.
is alive by all accounts, a great human being, right? But he made some moves that make children cry. So the story
Literally.
starts in 2005, not too long ago, right?
Huh.
Mike Brown and his team discovered Eris, ERIS, which is at the time or today is the most massive and the second largest known dwarf planet in the solar system. But at that time, Pluto was a planet. And so this was initially dubbed the 10th planet because it was thought to be larger than Pluto at the time. I thought this was even larger. We found a 10th planet, right?
This was only 20 years ago.
This was only 20 years ago, a mere 20 years ago.
This is to say, like, how
I was alive.
rapidly astronomy changes. So,
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is, to be honest, I don't know the exact problem. I guess we didn't want 10 planets. We had some Pluto haters. I think Mike Brown included. There was debate around whether Pluto should be a planet. And the discovery of Eris was enough for the IAU, the International Astronomy Union, to come together to officially define what a planet is. And so they said a planet has to fulfill 3 criteria, all right? So it's a celestial body that is in orbit around the sun. It has sufficient mass for its self-gravity to overcome rigid body forces so that it assumes a hydrostatic equilibrium nearly round shape, which is a lot of jargon to just say we expect them to be spherical, right?
Yes.
Almost
Yes.
perfect spheres. And then the third was that it has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit, right? So there are no other bodies of comparable size other than its natural satellites.
Unlike
it
the
turns
asteroid
out-
belt, which is
Yeah.
full of...
Exactly,
Okay.
right? Yeah, exactly. And it turns out that exact bullet point is the one that killed Pluto. Pluto is in the Kuiper belt, so beyond the asteroid belt, the furthest stretches of our solar system. And it is not the most gravitationally dominant object in its orbital neighborhood. So it hasn't cleared out the belt. So Pluto in 2006 was killed as a planet. And if that wasn't enough for you, Mike Brown wrote a book
Yes.
called
I own this book.
How I Killed Pluto and Why I Had It Coming. So he said he killed Pluto. I'm not the one saying he's the Pluto killer. His Twitter handle is at Pluto Killer. This guy killed
Send him
Pluto.
some hate mail.
And,
And then say just kidding at the end of it. He's a real good person, actually.
Yeah, definitely a great person. I'm just, he killed Pluto. And now third graders all across the country are devastating. If there's anyone on my list that has actually made a kid cry, it is Mike Brown.
Most likely. Yeah. That's a very good argument. I didn't know that the definitions for what made a planet was after the discovery of Sirius.
Yeah. Or I think, so I don't know.
Eris, not Sirius.
Eris, yeah. I don't know the exact definitions, but I know they convened, sorry, I keep hitting that. They convened to sort of, I think, reassign the definition. I think they had a working definition.
I've also heard something about planets all being on the same orbital plane, and Pluto's is not. So if all the planets, you could think of them as a CD, and they all exist along the surface of that CD, but Pluto's orbit would be tilted away from that. And also Neptune's orbit crosses over Pluto's a little bit, which is also unique from any other major planet.
Right.
And then I've also heard, maybe you mentioned this, but Pluto has a moon, Charon or Sharon,
Yes,
however you'd
Sharon,
say.
yeah.
And
Sharon.
that moon is quite large relative to Pluto. And so it tugs on it gravitationally.
Right.
And so the center of mass between the two objects does not exist inside of Pluto. Whereas with the Earth and the moon is small relative to the Earth. So the center of mass of the Earth-Moon system still exists inside of the Earth. And so Pluto is the only one out of all of our planets, which is now not a planet, but it's the only one that doesn't have that center of mass inside of it. So I am not sure if those are official descriptions or official rules for being a planet, but I've known those to be particularly special.
I think
for Pluto.
those definitely probably had something to do with the controversy at first.
maybe.
Right? Why it should be.
Yeah.
It's almost like Pluto is on its own epicycle, right?
Hey, good plug. Wow, that's horrible. All right, so we're on pick number 4, right?
This is your second to last pick. What do you got?
So for my 4th pick, I've got Fred Hoyle. And Fred Hoyle just passed away 24 years ago. And he is famous for the Hoyle state of nucleosynthesis, which is in stars, you have elements that are less massive. You push them together really hard and they make new elements. And so there's this big misunderstanding, or there's a hole in science where a certain part where helium turns into carbon. And so the Hoyle state explains a very specific condition that carbon can be in. I believe it's carbon. yeah, and it solved the problem, and so it was a really big thing. He was also a proponent of the steady state theory, which is the alternative to the Big Bang theory. And so yeah, it's the idea that the universe has existed forever, that it's always existed and it always will exist, and that it's expanding, but the universe's density stays the same despite the fact that it's expanding. So matter is being created as it expands. I think that's hopefully a good way to explain it. I hope I'm not missaying anything. But yeah, and he actually coined the term the Big Bang on accident, making fun of the people that believed in it, which is kind of funny. So the Big Bang has its name based off of him making fun of it.
It's a terrible attempt to make fun of him. It's an awesome name.
I know. And his paper on this Hoyle state with the nucleosynthesis is argued to be one of the most important scientific papers of the 20th century. So this guy has done a lot of amazing things for science. Yeah. But like all of my other picks, he's horrible. Horrible guy. Good scientist, horrible guy. So this guy could have gotten a Nobel, but he talked himself out of it. Literally, he talked himself out of a Nobel. Maybe the only person to ever do it. I'm not sure.
That list has to be very short.
Yes, but literally, that project got a Nobel. And Subramanian Chandrasekhar and William Fowler, who worked with him on the project, instead got the Nobel Prize, despite his theories and his ideas being the core of all of the work. And so this is actually a very like controversial thing with the Nobel. The committee really didn't like him, but they had their reasons. And this is because he called them a lot of really derogatory names. not a lot, but there's a specific instance where he called them bloody Swedes. And so, yeah, he wasn't helping himself in any case for being liked by people. But yeah, this is a very controversial thing. Like, he should have gotten the Nobel, but because he didn't get the Nobel, that's how much of a dinglehead he was. We're coming up with really unique ways to say bad words right now.
If you could talk yourself out of a Nobel, you could probably make a kid cry.
That's exactly my argument. You took it right out of my hands. Yes, that is exactly my argument. If you can talk yourself out of one of the world's most amazing awards, you can, by being rude to people, you can definitely make a kid cry. That's my argument for number 4.
Okay, that's exciting. I didn't know. I've never heard of Fred Hoyle till now. I know Chandrasekhar.
I hadn't heard of Fred Hoyle like much. I think I heard his name in passing before I started like researching for this episode. But yeah, like I mean, I don't know much about like science history to begin with, so I don't know if that says much. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't know much about him, and so that was actually like a really interesting find because. Yeah, talking yourself out of a Nobel is just insane.
You can do great science, but that's not what people will remember you for.
Yeah, he will be remembered as the guy that should have won the Nobel, but didn't because he was mean.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Should we do our final votes here? Should we do, or not final votes, but votes this round?
You did your 4th?
Yeah, mine was Mike Brown.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
No.
My bad. Yeah. Okay. What's the verdict, judges?
Ouch. I feel like objectively, because he has made kids cry. I've seen kids cry.
over Pluto.
Dude, actually, at the planetarium, have you ever, like, when you start talking about Pluto, somebody instantly raises their hand and they're like, why'd you kill Pluto? Like, why? And they start blaming us on it.
It becomes our fault.
Yeah. For our listeners, both Max and I work at Fisk Planetarium here at the University of Colorado Boulder. And whenever I talk about Pluto, almost like maybe 3 out of 5 times I talk about Pluto, they get mad at me about it.
The children specifically.
The children specifically. All right. Well deserved, man.
Well, we're going to start us off on our final round.
You already won, but we
got to do the last
going.
ones anyway. We got to do the last ones anyway.
Yes.
I like you. You truly had people that were just like me.
I think my choices weren't creative, and I need to work on my storytelling skills.
Okay.
You're a really good storyteller, and I'm
you
baffled and impressed
people,
right
though.
now.
I should. Oh. All right. Start us off. Final round. Your top person.
Yes.
Is gonna put some kids in tears.
Yes.
You go for it.
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay. I am very excited about this one, actually. I've saved my best for last, everybody. I am very excited about this one. So I actually just learned how to pronounce this guy's name. I've been pronouncing it Tycho Brahe for my entire career in astronomy, or my entire studies in astronomy. I actually just looked it up. It's Tycho Brahe. So there you go.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, he was alive about 450 years ago, give or take. And he, to me, is the obnoxious party animal of my team here.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of him. If there's any way that my team wins, it's going to be because of this guy.
Okay.
He's the best, yes.
Yeah.
So Tycho Brahe, he's a deeply aristocratic guy born into deep Danish wealth. 450 years ago. So aristocratic that King Frederick II of Denmark gifted him an island in which he could build his own observatory, and he did. And it's actually a pretty impressive place. And this observatory isn't just like a place to go and do science. Noblemen can come there, learn about science, sit and have fun, experience some of life's greater pleasures and stuff. And it's a beautiful place for people to hang out. It's like a giant mansion. And but yeah, this was before he didn't have any telescopes there, so there's like sextants and other older astronomical instruments there.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that he's famous for. And his scientific contribution specifically was that he was famous for making extremely precise measurements of objects in the sky. And he demonstrated that stars could actually change. So we were talking earlier about the Aristotelian belief that all of the heavens is perfect.
Right.
And in Aristotle's description of the heavens, he says that the heavens never change.
Yeah.
And so Tycho Brahe discovered I've heard both a nova and a supernova. I'm not sure which one it is, but he discovered the remnant of a dying star to some extent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I did not know this.
And he didn't know it at the time what it was, but what he did know is that something in the sky was changing.
Yeah, Aristotle doesn't like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, and so for somebody on the ground, a supernova or a nova is immensely more bright than the star that it comes from. And so this was just like a new star in the sky. And so he discovered a change in the heavens, which is pretty cool for the time. Yeah. And if you're talking about your crazy geocentric model before, this guy also had a pretty wild model. Yeah. He had a geoheliocentric model where the Earth and the sun orbit each other in the center, and then all planets orbit the sun.
That's kind of awesome.
It's kind of cool.
That's kind of really cool. I like that.
But yeah, and there's some like really creative ideas to figure out the motion of things in the sky. But
that's clever.
It's clever, but yeah, it's very interesting. But and so again, as all of my picks, hard person to work with.
Okay, yeah.
Very confrontational. And he was actually Kepler's mentor. We have a space telescope out in space named after Kepler. Kepler's a very famous astronomer. He was Kepler's mentor and actually was known to keep a lot of data from Kepler and not share it with him. And there's this idea or this rumor that Kepler might have poisoned Tycho Brahe.
That really?
Because Kepler got the data after Tycho Brahe died. And so, but that's like very not proven.
It
So
was
we don't
always
know.
strange because he's tried to shove like Kepler away, right? Like Kepler was begging for the data,
Yes.
which
Yes.
turned out to be a great move. You know, getting
Yes.
Kepler's laws today.
Yes, yeah.
But-
Kepler has like given us a huge foundation for our understanding
Yeah.
of astronomy. Yeah. And yeah, it was because of Tycho's data with Kepler's genius that
Yeah.
made that happen.
That's so bizarre that he was
Yeah.
so stingy with his data.
I know. But that's not even the good part.
Okay,
So I said this guy's a party animal.
great.
When this guy was 20 years old, he got into an argument with another person. And it's thought that the argument was probably about math.
Okay,
And they had a duel in the middle of the night with swords, so it was dark, and they dueled it out over math. And there's some accounts that say that it was over like a specific math problem.
man, I've never been this passionate about like a homework
Yeah,
problem. or
and this guy's
something.
20
This
at
is
the time
crazy.
too, so
Yeah.
it's like wild.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
and so they're dueling in the middle of the night. Some point, his opponent slashes him in the face and cuts off a part of the bridge of his nose. And now Tycho wears a brass prosthetic for the rest of his life. And he's famous as the astronomer with the prosthetic nose.
Huh.
And so he's pretty crazy there. He knows how to party. He knows how to end a party. But the wildest story that I heard was that this guy with his aristocracy had a pet elk that was trained
Yeah,
to
this
live
guy
in
sucks.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's apparently the translations from that time in Danish and like all this stuff. It was either an elk or a moose. I don't know what it was, but we'll just say it's an elk for now.
Some kind of animal that like a
He had
person
a
you don't
very
want to hang
large,
out with.
a very, very large animal in his
Yeah.
house, hanging out. And so, yeah, and he'd have parties at his house. He'd go to other
Yeah.
parties and stuff. And so he brought his elk to somebody else's party once. All these guys think it's a great idea to get this elk super drunk and just feed it copious amounts of alcohol.
I don't see any issues with this. For
No,
sure.
no,
Surely
no.
this can't go poorly.
No. The elk gets super drunk. He's having a great time, but he decides that it's time to like hit the hay.
Yeah.
So he walks up the stairs, the elk, and on his way up the stairs, he trips. He breaks his legs and then later dies from the injuries caused by
That's
all of this.
terrible. That's
horrible.
terrible. Why is
It's
he
horrible.
feeding this animal alcohol?
It's horrible.
That's terrible.
Okay, so imagine you're a kid. Imagine this.
Yeah,
Imagine you're a kid at this party,
Yeah.
seeing that elk break its legs because
Yeah.
it's so drunk, fall down the stairs with a scary guy with a brass nose.
Pointing and laughing, being like, haha, that's
and
terrible.
who's very rude, very confrontational, and is, just by all accounts, not the best person to hang out around if you're a kid.
Yeah. I like that. That's good.
Yes.
That's good. That would totally. If I was like in third grade, I saw a drunken moose die because it fell up the stairs. That'd be
Traumatized. Ultimate
scarring.
trauma. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. I if I had the opportunity to, I might party with that guy sometime. I don't know.
Maybe once. Yeah, maybe once.
Just to say I did.
All right. Is it time for my final pick?
Yes.
All right. My final pick goes to Johann Eller Bode, which is a German astronomer. And so there's a solid chance that I'm pronouncing his name wrong. And he's most known for Bode's law, which is a prediction for the spacing between planets in this is the key part, in any given planetary system. So this law is for any given planetary system, and he made this law in the 18th century. All right.
Yes.
Lots of planetary systems around back then. So the formula suggests that extending outward, each planet should be approximately twice as far from the sun as the one before. So he made that with about before we had discovered Saturn. So we had
Yes.
we had all our inner planets out to, and then Jupiter and Saturn, and he came up with that law. Sample
Yes.
size 6. Sample size 6. He said this is a law, or 7. Sample size 7.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn.
Yeah.
That is 6.
Terrible.
we have to actually count that out.
All right. So that's what he's most known for, right? Which it's obviously is false. We know that not to be the case anymore, especially even in our own solar system.
We haven't even discovered exoplanets for much longer after that. So to generalize that to every system is wild.
Yeah, so that's just not true. But it's exciting, right? It would be useful. But that's not why I think Bode would make a kid cry. That starts with William Herschel, another astronomer, the guy who discovered Uranus. He wanted to name it the Georgium Sidus, the Georgium planet, in honor of King George III of England, the king. Right? But Johann said, no, in order for it to be the same as the other planet names, it needs a Greco-Roman name. We need to call it Uranus. And so, because of Johann, every time we present a show at Fisk Planetarium to third graders, we have to deal with the stupid, lame Uranus jokes. So this guy, I'm the kid. This guy sucks. This guy's the worst. This is awful.
Oh my God.
This is awful. It's not funny. It was funny like once. And now because of this guy, we're stuck with it forever. It's a terrible name for a planet.
Yes.
And he makes me cry. He makes me cry. So that's my number one.
You're okay. You have
He
like
didn't even discover it too. He didn't even discover this planet. This was not his planet to name. And the worst part is all of us. We listened. We said, okay, I didn't discover the planet. Like this guy he was like. I don't know why we listened to it. I couldn't figure that out. I spent time on the internet. Why did he have so much sway? And it turns out he had sway because of this law that was just wrong too. So this guy makes me cry. I don't like him.
Recently, I've heard some pretty good spins on the Uranus joke.
Yeah.
Probably can't say them here, but catch me after the show if you want to hear them.
If you want to hear
funny, or just Google them.
Uranus joke.
Yeah, they're funny, but the one, I could admit it. Like, there's some 3-year-olds that made me feel very, very sad.
The worst.
Yeah. It's Bode's fault.
It's Bode's fault. It's all Bode's fault.
Very well put. Very well put. All right, judges.
Despite the fact that the Uranus jokes can make a kid cry from laughter.
Max did a case study on himself. He was like, "This made me cry."
I think I want to give it
I'll take the pity vote.
You got
Just kidding.
a bunch of middle school senses of humor here. A bunch of the moose was wild.
I love that story. Like, it's so messed up, but I think he's like hands down like the most wild stories that I've heard from any astronomer.
Remember we were talking about how he died too?
Oh yeah.
Like he was
at
a party, he like refused to go to the bathroom.
So he died from like complications caused by that. Yeah. Like what, days later or something?
Yeah, like days later. He just refused to go to the bathroom. Like
some kidney issues.
That would definitely make a kid cry, you know?
Dude, he had to keep the party going.
Yeah.
Can't let a pee take you out of that.
Yeah.
Wild. Well, thank you for the votes. It is 2-1, or 2-3. You did great.
I think you crushed it as well.
Thank you, sir.
And what did we learn here with our scientists? You can do fantastic science. You can do phenomenal science.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's your character is how people will remember you.
Yes. Also, if you're mean, you can still be a good scientist. Just stop being mean. That
very profound.
That's not very.
Yeah.
These people were mean and scientists, but Don't be mean.
Don't be mean.
Just be a good scientist.
Not everyone's mean. Mike Brown probably isn't mean.
Yeah.
And Johan is probably not mean. probably I don't know anything about him. Probably wasn't a mean guy.
We should talk to Mike Brown. We can see if he's mean.
You can see. Yeah.
This episode part 2. Mike Brown comes on the show. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to have you. I hope to have you sometime again soon. And that concludes this episode of Open Orbit. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Please let us know who your 5 picks for a team to make a child cry would be. And please let us know if there's anything that you would add to our horrible people and things that we missed and didn't mention. You can do that by reaching out to us at our email, openorbitpodcast@gmail.com. You can also reach out to us on our socials, that is Open Orbit Podcast. And this episode was written by our guest Max Carlin and I. Our production and editing have been done by Javid Alimuradov, Isabella Schulte, and Lillian Wright. Our music has been done by Amoxie. Open Orbit is supported by KVCU Radio 1190, and we will see you again next time.